Welcome to my new office. This is how it looks now. It'll probably evolve as time goes on, but I'm basically kind of experimenting with some of the lights here and I'm digging it. It's a nice space. It feels clean. It feels fresh. Feels a little weird to be out of my house. I've been having my home office be my, studio and office for most of my life, actually, as my professional life has evolved. So this is the first time since I had a day job where I literally left my house to come into an office to do work. So it's a little strange to get used to, but so far I'm digging it. I wanted to just make a quick video today to share something that came up in a conversation I just had with a member of Sync Academy that got accepted by a library through the Sync Up event that we just had. Now I'll post that interview so you guys can listen to his story. But basically, what he shared was this point of frustration that maybe a lot of you guys are also facing. So I wanted to just kind of reiterate his story and just give some further thoughts in terms of why it's not crazy or weird to be in that struggle. So his struggle was that he had been actually successful as a music producer, as an engineer, as a live musician. He'd been doing a lot of things in the music world and creating a full-time income from it. It was just Sync that constantly was just bashing him over the head, getting rejected, not getting royalties, not getting placed, not getting accepted. You name it, for many, many, many years, he was just running up against the wall. And he, in fact, put a really interesting comment on my YouTube channel saying that he was just about done with it. All the money that he had made through some of the opportunities he had gotten throughout his career, he actually paid and spent all of it to get to sync up, for the flight and the hotel and the event and all that kind of stuff. And so he just, coming to that event, said to himself, if this doesn't turn into something, I'm just done. Like, it's my path. His path of least resistance was this other side of the music industry. Even though he wanted to get into sync, he saw the potential of it. It just wasn't working. Now, luckily and fortunately, he did get accepted by a library CEO, and he's just on fire and excited, ready to get working. But what I had commented to him prior to hearing about his success, and what I replied to him on his YouTube comment was, the path of least resistance is different for each of us. For me, it was sync. So I was trying to do probably what he's doing in terms of I wanted to create independent artistic music, get a deal, tour the world, do all that kind of stuff. I just wasn't getting anywhere with that approach. I wasn't seeing contracts, wasn't seeing checks, much less credit or anything like that, right? So when I stumbled into sync, it was obviously many, many years ago. This is 2008, well before probably it was an extremely popular way to go for a lot of producers. So I kind of discovered the secret fairly early on in my career, and I thought, wow, I'm getting contracts and checks. I'm going to follow this path of least resistance. And that's where the marketplace was telling me, we value you. We will pay you. We want your music. Please keep submitting your music to us, right? And various different clients and libraries that I work with over the years. That might not be your story, though. That might not be everybody's story. You might have a different path of least resistance in your music career, okay? So I don't want anybody to think that sync is the path of least resistance for all musicians and producers. It's not, right? That would be foolish for me to say that. I do believe that there are certainly less barriers to entry. I do think that there's a lot more transparency in terms of you get briefs, you get reference tracks, you can even research a lot of these companies so you know what you should be producing and getting involved with before you jump into a situation, as opposed to working with artists or putting out your own original music. You're trying to summon in creativity and inspiration, also trying to stay with the current trends, but not following and covering and getting too close to other current artists and stuff, creating something original. And it's really tricky to navigate those waters and to know what is the public going to like, what's going to actually get attention. I also have to put a music video together that's really compelling. I have to brand myself. There's a lot of stuff you have to do on the other side of the sync or the music industry, not the sync industry, but the music industry, right? So sync licensing for some of us alleviates a lot of those extra concerns and worries and tasks that we just don't want to do. And it provides a sort of clear path to get to where we want to go. But if that's not you, like if you've been banging your head against the wall for 5 years, 10 years, even if it's just a year, everybody's going to have a different timeline for how long is too long. But if you've been just banging your head against this thing and it's like, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working, that might be the marketplace telling you sync licensing isn't your path. It just isn't the right fit for you or your music. One thing that this member told me though is that he realized after getting the Sync Academy is that he couldn't just, and this is the mistake he'd been making. He was just taking the music he was creating for artists independently and kind of shoehorning them into a sync licensing opportunity and just not getting anywhere. And he was like, well, what's the deal? I know that I'm getting tons of streams. He had millions of streams, lots of success, full-time income. Why wouldn't that success just spill over into the sync world? And one concept I shared with him was that we have to remember the sync licensing industry is not the music industry. Yes, we create music, we are music providers, we work with music libraries that have large catalogs of music, but who is our end consumer? Who is our end user? It's TV shows, it's films, it's commercials, it's video games, okay? None of those are the music industry, okay? That's not the public that we're trying to build a fan base through. That's not a crowd at a concert that we're trying to entertain in a live format, right? So even though we create music, we're a part of music, we are definitely supplying music, we are not serving the music industry. And that one key concept is maybe what can help help a lot of you guys understand why I've created Sync Academy, why I've created all the hopefully helpful resources and videos that I put out on the YouTube channels, because it's the number one mistake that so many producers and artists make is they just try to rush into this industry without getting educated on the fact that what you're creating is called now production music. This isn't just whatever tunes you feel like it. This isn't just whatever, throw it out there because it's original. Somebody will find beauty in it, maybe, but a much smarter path, a much more profitable path to get to where you want to go is to sort of study what's already useful, what's already working in this industry, and just basically channel all that energy and talent that you already have into the production music library world, right? That's all I'm really trying to help you guys do is channel all of that just unlimited, hopefully unlimited energy and creative potential that you have, but sort of put the reins on and realize that we can't be 100% just going anywhere we want to, or just taking whatever music that we love, that we've been creating for many, many years in our lives and throw it into a TV show, because I know that's a tricky thing to understand because we have these emotional ego attachments to the music that we make. With sync licensing, we have to learn how to separate a bit from that and go, okay, I'm a student now. I need to learn what's working, who has come before me, who's actually made music that's gotten placed, and what's out there in the libraries right now. Like what is the hot genre that a lot of libraries are looking for? How can I fit into some of these new in-demand places that are coming up into our industry? So I just wanted to share this quick concept with you guys to let you know that it might not be your fit. Sync licensing might not be for you, and that's okay. You're not a failure. It's not any reflection on you and your talents and what you can provide and what value you're giving the world with your music. Nothing like that at all. It just means that this one particular use case for your music isn't quite working. You can keep trying, keep going for it if you like to. We have all the resources in the world to help you guys do that if you want to. But also realize there's also no shame in just sort of throwing in the towel and going, I gave it a shot. I just don't think this side of the business is for me. I'm going to go to my path of least resistance, which who knows what that might be, right? Just go ahead and be open to that. So I wanted to just give that quick, hopefully helpful tip for you guys today.